or to be at level 10, and then everything past that is all about whether or not you want to try and be one of the best in the world. But they're relatively unknown names. You know, there's a lot of scouting that's actually done through the Face It ladder, and it doesn't seem as though many of these guys have ever cropped up on the radar. So we're I guess a little hesitant to get too all in. You know, Hesta have had some very surprising victories, but this BetBoom team should be strong enough to defeat them, even if they had a very, very poor run-in with the Falcons and the new look that Nico's brought to that team.
Yeah, maybe just chalk that one away. Right now, though, Mukos peeking out, Boom is taken down, and it is going to be potentially a very occupied B bomb site that they go into. Mukos continues to fall back, having good positions to recede into. Frontales is... Actually, it's Abiraju who might end up being the one to push in and try and get information out of here. It's Magnogest to find Mukos in the meanwhile, but now the B-bomb site hit is still going to be asked to come into play. Ants is in good position to start flanking out towards that side if they want to, but with A side being where the commitment is taking place, it all comes down to Snaxajaz.
He gets the drop on Axile, but he can't hit the shot. Zorta able to save his teammate. Ants is nearby. It was a very spread defense from Hesta. They were hoping to get some information or some kind of a backstab, and it never ended up happening. And so now it's all just about this A main pressure, and Ants gets one through the edge of the smoke.
He's going to continue fighting forward. Magnogest will be able to overrun. Siren does the same. Leaving Frontales the only one all alone. Pushes through the smoke, finds another one. Magnogest taken down. Zorta and Siren, all they have to do is just play the time, wait for it out. Frontales, great first and beautiful second shot as well coming through. That's exactly what you want to see.
Where is Zorta looking? His teammate just died on the side. He's looking towards the edge of Fishtail. I mean, it just seemed like a miscommunication. Unsure about where Frontales had actually gone off to, or just unsure about how they were going to end up playing that. But that seems like a fairly large fumble. Some nice shots being hit by Frontales. I mean, should not be able to win a clutch like that. Time was a pressure. They have control of the site. They know where he is. We give him one too many peeks, and well, it's punishment.
Frontales obviously is the one with the big numbers on HLTV as well right now on the basis of the few matches that he has played so far. Good to see that he is showing it off over here as well.
Great kill from Siren, but instant double dink there from Frontales. So even though he went headshot for headshot, that extra bullet does save his life and retain some control on A. They've completely ceded all B control. They're 3 pushing mid, and Ants has pulled away from that B bomb site.
Boots is about to be in for a very rude awakening right now with the triple swing coming his way. Magnogest, however, has still come out on top. 2 kills found. I will say, this is always one of the fun things. You are going to see some strange calls being made from FPL stacks and the like, so it's always a good time to at least, keep an eye out. Mukos starts to make his way back over towards the B-bomb side. Axel lies in wait. Mukos will be clearing out that angle perfectly. Very nicely done as he continues forward. And Ants's backstab still brings it back in their favor.
Yeah, and that was with BetBoom managing to get a smoke down. You know, they put a lurk smoke down and into towards that A bomb site. They threw a heaven smoke, but there was no actual presence behind it. Ants was very hot on their heels. And Mukos very suspicious, obviously, with the lack of presence, still committed to the idea that there could be someone that found this timing out from Temple, and so, yeah, some nice shots being hit from him. I think they're playing with a level of fearlessness you wouldn't expect from a team that doesn't have a large amount of reps playing against teams of this caliber.
Ants has turned around. This could be the perfect time for Magnogest to come through on the backstab. Ants, though, caught with a grenade in his hand, will be taken apart. Magnogest now lining up that incendiary, will be able to try and push out Frontales from his position, but 3 players already having rotated back to the B-bomb site. They're so incredibly committed in that regards.
Once again, it's this sort of early presence from BB, and then They pump the brakes. And during that interim, Hesta are making quite a lot of noise, re-clearing things out towards connector and the canals. And they've even drawn an extra player over towards that A side. So it's a 2-2 split, with BB having that rifle ferried over and given to healthier hands. They have a 5-on-1 as frontales has actually left this B bomb site to take up mid.
Mirage has to be so careful. The fact that there's no grenades is the only thing that really helps him at all, but he's started to back off as well. He should have a good sightline with the lack of smokes that are going to be placeable. He gets one, but not the second. Axel trades away. In the meanwhile, frontales has been able to make his way over, continues to spray. USB now pulled out while the bomb's being planted. And Axel is the only one to actually find success on the bomb site. No guns to recover. That's the problem with these backside kills. He will end up falling.
I mean, yeah, that's a great triple kill, and it does come down to the fact that, you know, you're right to highlight it, the lack of utility available there for BB, even though they overwhelm Abiraju. It's that fast rotation, you know, given that he was playing that temple side, holding mid, the potential camera walk. He was able to get there on time to cut BB down before they could actually set up into after plants and secure a solid planting position.
It's going to be Boomage to try and chase forward, find Nukos with a smoke in his hand, but frontales is yet to miss. He is fantastic on the repeat as well. Gets himself that second kill, up to 9-2 now. Mr. Danger Man on the server here right now.
Genuinely playing with such fearlessness. Peeking into Axel with that AWP will finally get punished for swinging continuously. And that's a lovely entry there for MagnoJez. There's a path. Starts to siphon the defenses, but MagnoJez still maintains his position on that A-bomb. Pushing the Siren. Yeah, that's a ballsy move.
That's a guy who's got 3,000 face-in matches for sure.
Yeah, this is the thing. They do just play such a kind of outrageous Counter-Strike. They will push through smokes. They will refight things. You have to push them off of angles. They're not respecting just presence and the potential to get flashed on angles.
Slaxajez's backstab could be fantastic. Remember, he's got a Molotov as well, so if he gets that one down on CT spawn, these two players aren't going to be able to close the distance.
Doesn't have a kit though.
That is true.
There's one on the way.
That could make a difference. Spotted out now. Switching out is MagnoJez, and MagnoJez has been right there with frontales. 9-3 on him right now, and he is known quantity in the sense that we know how hard he can frag, but it's good to see him actually do it over here.
Yeah, and given the the underperformance prior to the Boomich and Axile move to BB, I think it's easy to forget that MagnoJez can be this player that I think a lot of us were touting as, this sort of next up as a rifler within that CIS scene. And just given that the team wasn't successful, it was actually kind of hard to watch the fall off, but seeing some of the impact, the raw fragging ability that he can provide.
Smokes out the quad and Mukos. There are still 3 players on the same bomb site, so trying to commit in over here is not going to be an easy feat. They're moving past the Molotov, they're pushing in. Siren and MagnoJez will cut them down, and now suddenly that A-bomb site becomes a little bit more appetizing. Axel, nice grenade, shot forward. Damage isn't overwhelming, but it is there. Dodge. Axel will be able to recover position and maintain his life, but maybe not forever. Ants is hot on his heels, trying to chase him down, and the reload will get that second shot. Now left wanting, Boomich will take him down.
Yeah, I challenge viewers at home. Find me a team that, when that lurk smoke is thrown and it blooms in their faces, that they walk through the smoke as the T's are throwing Molotovs. I would be it would be a tough challenge for me to accomplish. Watch a lot of games. There's not many that would.
I'll find you, team. I do
would
that all the
brave that
time.
risk.
I
Yeah, well-
die consistently on base.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Yeah, talking about real Counter-Strike here.
Hey, don't pull me down like that.
They took a big risk, and it did not work out.
But it's things like that which you, I guess, have to do sometimes up against a team that, you know, on paper is just supposed to demolish you, crush you.
Sometimes it's just the unconventional plays, unconventional Counter-Strike that will sometimes win you rounds, because it's so far past the norm that, well, it would be deemed idiotic to attempt. But hey, rounds are rounds. If it works. Now, these plays may not be repeatable, but
Hey, it's
sometimes you find it.
you get a round win, you get a round win. Now they don't get the round win, and they also actually don't get the play to work. You know, there is that to keep in mind.
Yeah. Nope, frontales tried to get a kill on the exit, but only did damage, so able to retain a number of weapons here on the side of BB, building a bit of a buffer. There's no money here for Hesta, so how do they organize around this one dig that they have in operations? Actually, they're gonna center it more around the flashbangs.
A faster
Here
play.
Magno and Canals. They think they have the timing, but they don't.
Good oversight in mid consistently with Boomich in one. That has been a bit of a saving grace for BetBoom. There's no doubt about that. Frontales. Chance to show off. Those crazy USP shots. We know he can do it with the pistol. Right now, Magno just finds out as well. Goes in for another attempt. He knew Zorte was there from earlier on. Just wanted to try out that pre-fire.
He'll start to make his way back to spawn, and priorities would probably be set to save, but they also do have a buy next round. His teammates have saved. He has enough floating cash. If he had a kit, it would be really worth its while to try and get this. Maybe pull the wool over the eyes of BB, but you know, especially considering, you know, some of the shots he's been hitting. Seems like the type. But this sadly is not one of those positions. BB nicely controlled here against the eco. All they had to really worry about was one dig, and now it's a dig and an AK that's being carried forward instead.
Listen, he also seems like the kind of guy who wants to have an AK-47 on the CT side, to be fair.
Yeah. Or an AWP, because he can buy that.
There you go. You've been on point with the all predictions today, Michael, in terms of positioning or purchasing.
Well, that's... I mean, he just had enough, and he had enough in the previous round. It's...
You're good at this, Michael.
It wasn't rocket science.
Well, 3-3, BetBoom have managed to equalize. Question is this going to continue to be this heavy, mid-sided, defensive, let's wait for them to peek us sort of situation? Because if that is the case, Hesta are trying to peek in through dark to canals. No targets found. Flashbang is good. Frontales unable to connect on the timing.
Immediately moved, gave up his spot, and there's vulnerabilities on this B bomb site. They try and flash into the smoke and escape back into CT. Frontales actually came back. He thought they would run away from this AWP, but they keep charging forward. They have access to this entirety of the site. But these smokes that are down, the flashes through from spawn, Axel caught by it, and Abiraju still sitting in a jail. It's chain flashes, and they are blind as bats. It is a free 3K for Abiraju, who dared to brave those smokes, but it's all because of those flashbangs.
What an incredible push forward, just finding so many. The flash is perfectly placed, but the problem, it might be Siren. They're turning around and checking for him. Frontales is getting suspicious. Haven't seen that last play for so long. He'll be able to get the flick as well. Siren taken down. Zorte all alone. He has to save.
Yeah, almost certainly. I mean, this round is blown up in their face. They had free real estate. They don't get you know, into any urgency to rush the plant because they know that there's a secondary site player nearby. There should have been some anticipation that, you know, a flash play could be called for, but they may be expecting 1, 2 flashes, but I think there was like 3 of them thrown, so you can dodge them as you try. There was another one where that came from.
You don't stop throwing it just the one if you think there's a push coming in, I suppose. Axile, though, popping up that smoke while he was fully blinded out as well. Wasn't really able to take advantage of it. I don't know how much of a difference that would have made. To be fair, it was just a great play from Abiraju to bring them back in the lead.
Yeah, part of the play there for Siren as well is, you know, there's anticipation there because he's very frequently the A main lurk. And, you know, with how many flashes and util was thrown over at B, it's very easy to see how an Extremities player could have crept in, but the route Siren took was the long way around. He was hoping that would be the one unaccounted for. And it was half and half. Frontales was toying with both. Minor advantage to Hesta, our underdogs in the open qualifier.
Boom spotted out a rifle barrel, but I don't know if he registered it or not. Mukos around the corner. Could be in some trouble. Molotov to try and keep Slacksages away. It is going to be a flashbang from him to assist Mukos wherever he can. They are feeling the heat in middle. They know there's probably a little bit of presence around the corner. He peeks forward. He finds it. Zorte the only one spotted, though. The information is still limited.
Yeah, I was rather fortunate there for Zorte. I mean, he's posted on a potential temple peak, and Mukos just walks right into it. Double play into the canal. Siren, I think, would have spotted at least one, but didn't know that it was both. And thought it was just a jiggle for info.
They don't know where Magnages is, though, but look at them recede back towards the back of the bomb site. Boomich right now, asking for assistance. It will be 3 players to come in through dark. They need to start making a move of this soon. Abiraju, the savior of the previous round, is here. But time is running out for this D side. 30 seconds is all they have. Frontales starts to rotate back over as well. Ant's already here. A smoke to try and dissuade him from going in, but these smokes have never stopped them before. Out goes Ants, out goes Boomich, and he can't double up. Magnages trades it out. Abiraju is fully blinded. He can't go anywhere with this. Now Frontales yet to be able to really get sightlines up with the AWP. He's now left alone inside Ninja, fighting it away, but the rebolt up. Zorte will shut him down neck to neck as BetBoom find 4.
Yeah, again, it's just, you know, these rotates from Temple, just throwing out flashes, just barreling through smokes. Hesta are willing to take those risks and maybe feel like they have to, but this time BetBoom are able to stop them in their tracks. Good positioning there from Magnoyez and Boomich to play off one another, just round the edge of that smoke, understanding that there was a potential gap that, you know, Axel, for example, couldn't cover. Oh. That's a firework on the B bomb site. And maybe call for celebration, because all of 5 of Hesta are actually positioned there and trying to run Axile down, but he'll be able to navigate himself away. Extra reinforcements that will do damage, but find no kills. Well, they were 5 start B, push. So, do you reckon they'd 5 rotate? I think BetBoom seemed to be suspicious that would be the case.
Oh, listen. Pistol together strong, right? That's what they say.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the oldest trick in the book. Show 5, and then go the other side. And they didn't see 5. But BetBoom have read right through it.
Or maybe they just wanted to fight against the pistols, to be fair. Magnages will have that opportunity over here with the Mac 10. Finds himself one. A grenade to their faces is certainly going to help from Dallas low. And of course, right behind him is also going to be found and caught. 14 kills right now on Magnages. He is really having a grand old time.
Yeah, not a single casualty here for BetBoom. Zorte's on 13.1k. And, well, 12.5, but who's counting? Not him, not anymore. Once you're in 5 digits in CS, it feels good.
Is it?
Yeah, frontales has his hands back on the AWP, and I think I'm going to ask the same question you are. Is there going to be a plan for Hesta to actually mitigate some of the fights that maybe have been winning habitually?
Oh my
and
god.
Maybe that's the plan. And just running through a smoke and challenging. Muko's playing in front of the smoke in mid. It's hectic.
My question was going to be different and a lot better, actually. It was, is Mukos going to make a play in mid this time?
Well, sorry
I think
for assuming.
It makes sense. Zorte at this point is all alone. A world that has no space for him. Slaxages will go down. He's being hunted from all sides. Shots baited out. The like 5 and 5. Hesta will not let go of BetBoom just quite yet.
Of course, all that reserve cash is going to come in handy here, but the way that the money starts to simmer down here for BetBoom, actually they should still be able to afford up a pretty competent buy in the following, yeah. Just got so much reserve on Zorte.
Yeah, especially if they get a bomb plant or anything like it, that would make it easy enough. Zorte's not gone for an AWP this time over, it is all AKs. Maybe BetBoom has had enough and decided it's time for a firepower fire off. The problem is Mukos again. Look at how aggressive he's gone. He's all the way down middle, watching out and looking for Siren. Gets a backstep and can't get the kill. Abiraju now hidden away at the back of the bomb site. A place he has occupied many times over, but fully flashed up. Taken down. Magnojet. He's the one to do so, as he has time and time again before. This is 4 on the retake attempt. Will quickly be disrupted. A kill apiece while the bomb's still not planted. Mukos still looking to come through in from darkness late into the round, and he might have the jump. No! Siren turns right in time. Nagnojez turns away, and maybe he shouldn't have. Slaxajez on the other side. We'll get the better of him. Remember, that bomb still isn't dialed in. BetBoom are stuck in between a rock and a hard place.
It's just been constant chains of smokes. Every CT is bar Slaxage has thrown their smoke. Every T has thrown theirs. And Zorte is pinned in position. I mean, this is a hairline angle that Frontales is designed to hold, but as he moves, Zorte peeks it. That's unfortunate timing for him. Slaxage from spawn had a really rough go of this game so far. Now pinned in position. Zorte knows he must be in that smoke somewhere, but he's actually not proceeded out of it. He still sits inside of spawn. Zorte never committed to the reload, but he gets it into the clip now. Covered the bomb. 20 seconds. He'll have the plant.
Slaxages. Inching forward. Zorte continues to start. Pro wants to be mobile, wants to be agile, and in that agility, he'll find the frag. 6 for BB. As Hesta right now, their money is not good. This should be 7 if things go to plan.
Damn, they shouldn't have an AWP unless Mukos wanted to glass cannon it, and he's not been the one that's been wielding that AWP. Oh, Frontales actually drops a rifle for his teammate and just buys a deke.
If I can't have the op, I might as well have the baby op. Mirage is the one to progress forward. Axel's all alone. This is a dangerous position for him to be in. He just peeks out into 2. Taken down there and then, and immediately you see the rotation backwards from Ants as well. He wants to give back up to the rest of his team while Mirage will continue to peek maybe too far. Boomer trades and falls back to CT. Slaxages. Siren, gotta be careful, buddy. Incendiaries are gonna get you, and if they don't, Slaxages will. They keep pushing through these smokes. No respect whatsoever, while Zorte is found out by that very same Deagle. Magnojez is the one to get a kill elsewhere.
kill. Oh, Ants just turns. Magno looked like he had the drop on him, but he was constantly bouncing between those angles. Understood that Magno was outside of A main, so the possibility there, but it is a bold decision to juggle so much. Boomich routing through the canals, and Frontales is just above him, but did not see or hear anything. He has recovered an AWP for himself. I mean, it's very defensive positions here for Ants. We'll get no information to Boomich about where he resides.
Boomich hides away. Waits for the peek forward. The smoke will give him time, but not too much cover. Ant is worried about the push from the other side. Position reveal from Frontales. Boomich will have to get this kill, otherwise Ant just shuts it down here and now. Boomich gets the one, knows that the ops on the other side, knows that his bullets are low. Recovered it from Zorte, but he will not recover the round. 7 for BetBoom as they go into the second half with the lead. A hard-fought clutch from Boomich gives BetBoom the 7, but can they maintain that lead as they go into the unfavored side of Anubis? Hesta still have a chance to take it out from underneath them.
Yeah, and I wonder whether they keep that consistent, sort of unconventional nature moving into this T-side as well, because you'd think with a map like Anubis, it's T-sided enough that you can just use those advantages in your favor. But BB are the ones being a little cheeky on this pistol round, but it's a jiggle. Just anticipating the prospect of a mid-push, and Frontales is able to punish the retreat.
Agnes able to get the refrag though, and that's important. Hesta have yet to decide wherever they want to go. They're just taking their sweet time with it. They know that BetBoom are feeling like they have to get information because of how unpredictable Hesta have been playing.
Yeah. And this is the thing as well, you know, it's not as though they were just holding mid, you know, not purely anti-strat, but they're hesitant to move anywhere really on this T side. It is a very slow start where all they want to see is whether BB hunt for that information. Now at the minute mark, they start to group their forces.
In through mid they go, Boomich. He doesn't want any of the smoke. He's got a smoke and a kit and he wants to try and protect it for a while. Flashbang will be avoided. Boomich is just waiting for himself to be overrun. He's got a bit more where that came from in the form of Siren. And my god, those USB shots look good. Remember though, Hesta, they clutched it all together in the first half. They could do it again over here. BetBoom feel like they desperately need this USB win though, and it's going to be another backstab attempt from Axile. It's Magnochez and Siren to close it out. Great pistol round from them.
Yeah, and fantastic bait work there from Boomich. I mean, spots them in from storage and then retreats, just lures them into Siren, who's already in a great position inside of Heaven to stop them trying to chase Boomich down. And just between that little bait setup, it gave them that massive advantage and dropped the bomb at their feet. So overall, great positioning from Boomich. Didn't get caught jiggling in through mid, even though he got the information that they were trying to walk that area as well. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, BetBoom did get humbled versus the Falcons. But against a team that no one really knows much about from your country, I don't think there's gonna be any major missteps. Their experience is shining in some of these clutches and some of the individual decision making.
Also, very good reminder to everyone about the fact that BetBoom is made up of some of the most insane rifling superstars the Russian scene has been able to provide us in a while. I mean, Siren, how can we forget his performances at past majors? Axile as well, one of the biggest talents who has, in a lot of people's minds, been wasted looking for a rebirth. Magnochez, we already talked to death about him. These three are incredible, or at least they should be.
I'd say in terms of accomplishments, obviously at different stages of their careers, but have all been touted as one of the stars, or at least one of the great role pieces in their respective teams of old. And they hold that stature under BetBoom as well. First real gun round here for Hesta, and they walk the smoke.
Oh no, Boomich is able to get the information at the very least, so that's not going to be a risk to them any longer, but it's going to be a reroute back towards the B bomb site. Magnochez with the MP9 is going to be met by smoke. Mukos decides against pushing through it. Feels like it's one of the few times I'll actually say that. He's been very comfortable at pushing smokes for a long time. Axile going to take advantage of a gap, but it feels like Hesta might be aware that is there as well. You do still have Slaxogez on the other side of the map, near to A, the Knot, who's trying to hold off from any CT aggression and make sure that the A site is still an option, but they will have to go without utility. They've got flashes and one Molotov.
They got to speed up as well, because they've just cleared outside of B main, so there's a real chance that BB start to reinforce the right site as Hesta just start to set up outside of A, but there's still so much hesitation.
Ants is able to spot out the pushing player. Magno just forces him away.
Yeah, so they know that B bomb site's compromised. They have to go A.
But look at how far away BB is. This bomb site is going to be taken up for free. BB will not be able to contest at all. BetBoom right now, they will have to retake with MP9s and pharmacists. It's not the ideal situation at all. 5 versus 5, both teams without utility. How have we gotten here? Zorte at least gets the first one for free, but it's a trade that's good, and Siren keeps it going with Axile to assist. Still 2-on-2 on the bottom side. Magnus just comes through to the quick side swipe. Great MP9 spray on the long range, but frontales will finish it off. You have to ask the question, where are BetBoom off to?
Yeah, I mean, the longer they waited, the more the pieces started to feel like they lined up. I mean, they'd got Magnogez clearing outside of B main. There was still, of course, the possibility of them routing in through the canals. There was noise made there earlier by Hesta, especially with the presence in through mid. But after all that silence, given that Magno has that position, surely you only really need one more player on that B bomb side. Why have the A players given up so much room? It's a curiosity. Really winnable situation there at the end for Magno. The V-burst, and they don't even wait for the smoke. Magno was ready to prime that and waited for the smoke to bloom before releasing the incendiary. And it just comes out way too late.
I don't even think you go for this retake.
Yeah. Not unless you get given a free one. Oh my
Lucas,
goodness.
Boomage! He doesn't register.
Yeah.
Now the siren, and despite the good shot, Mukos is still able to get the adjustment.
Yeah. I mean, the timing there for Boomage is obviously terrible. But a great shot onto Siren means that there's no saved weapons for BetBoom. The first half, their economy was looking great. Money in the back pocket. Zorte, living at large. But the CT side will not treat you that way.
Quick work of the ecos. Well, maybe not that quick. Decent enough damage from the CT side to keep Hesta somewhat honest. Dallas will be coming back to reinforce, but wait a minute, what's going on? You thought Madness was going to stop on just one side. They've got 4 kills. They cannot recover weapons. Snaps now has to try his hardest to stop the disaster from transpiring, but Zorte's 4K gives BetBoom and olive bronze they didn't even know existed.
It's USPs. It's all USPs. Listen, the problem was there that the bomb was dropped outside of B to the hard left side. When your B extremity player dies, the mid player has to pick up the slack. But when they're still getting rushed, you can't get to that package so easily. But there's still the whole round to play. You could run through T spawn. They just didn't want to be scared by USPs, and they got humbled very quickly. I mean, those shots from Zorte put them on half HP almost instantly on every peak. Now it's rifles here for BetBoom. Hesta trying to bounce back after losing to a full save. They're far from an ideal on weaponry either. HE blows the smoke open enough that has to feel a little bit more confident sitting inside of it.
Siren isn't ready for the double push to come in his face. Soon Mukos is going to be able to find him before his second player shows himself off. But now Zorte needed. USPs is where he's able to save the day, but with the first off shot being missed, they back off. They can't go for it.
Yeah, it's a save instantly. I mean, you lose the sight that quick, especially on your anchor player. Zorte wasn't even really in a great position to pick up the slack. Hadn't made his transit towards that A site as of yet. The timing in which they lose Siren is far from ideal, so you got given an olive branch, and it's been snatched right back by Hesta on the force buy.
I'm wondering about whether BetBoom... I mean, you know, we obviously see different approaches from them. On one side, they're very worried about, hey, Hesta going to be going something random. Let's start getting aggressive and getting information early on. But now that they've won a few of these rounds, now that they're in a convincing lead, they are... Are they going to be doing the same for, you know, something a bit more aggressive? A set play, anything of the sort?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting question. You know, it comes down to philosophy of whether or not you try and press your advantage and go for knockout punches or hold enough confidence in your baseline game. But they've wanted to be proactive.
From
pistol round to the full save. You know, they're obviously trying to give themselves as many chances as they can to be the ones that catch Hesta off guard.
Hard thing to do so far. Hesta have been playing a very slow default in many of the early rounds. They're just waiting for BetBoom to be the ones to make a mistake. Or just use up all that util.
And it's something you can definitely see in some of the previous BetBoom outings on Anubis. They constantly love to push for CT control. So you can certainly understand why Hesta have gone with this approach on the T side.
BetBoom are going to have all avenues of aggression taken away from them beyond just Siren, but even he's going to be struggling with the smoke and a Molotov thrown. There is an idea for Hesta. It is to right now use Mukos' position. Can they find him? Mukos around the corner knows that Boomich is inside camera. They don't know where he is.
No, that's suspicious.
Axel's caught between angles. He doesn't know where to look. Sorte has been forced away as well. They will not turn around in time at this point. Mukos is in great position to find Boomich instead. Wait for the rotates, although it is traded. Slaxu just good for one. Axa continues to double up, keeps it going, looks for three, will find them. Still a 2 versus 2. Abiraju brings it back in their favor. Hesta take a step forward, but they still have the biggest man and the biggest head to claim. Magnajez looks for the duel, will not be given one for free. Slaxajez on the other side is also just hidden away. That kit recovered, and he's going to be looking to maybe even stick it right now. Is this going to be a full swing? A flashbang forward. Slaxajez will take him down. He never stood a chance.
Yeah, and I mean, I think quickly came to the realization they would have to swing it, but they also didn't want to take chances that Axile was simply tapping for that defuse. Having enough time to pull out that flash. You know, very quick thinking there from Hesta to add some extra layers of security. Yeah, very tough round there for Magnajez. I think I said Axile prior, but one of the stars of BetBoom they've had to try their best to negate. They've not done a great job at silencing Magnajez, but it's a tough task. Alright, they can't lose another.
Can't they? Can't they? No, you're right. Okay.
Unless.
I believe in the boom.
Wait, they're bringing the bomb to me.
No.
Well,
Well, he's been able to find Boomich, shut him down, pick up some more numbers.
Yeah, that pillar was clearly not big enough for Boomich.
It does feel like now or never for BetBoom. They aren't really coming up with ideas for how to find an early advantage. It is just a lot of these late round situations where, you know, Magnajez or Siren are able to get a couple of really good kills, and after that, and that's all fine. But that can't be your only winning strategy over here on the CT side of Anubis. It's going to be a B-pincer. The bomb still left very far behind. Axel turned away from the smoke, but he is second-guessing everything. Zorte in the meanwhile good for one. Flashbang is going to go forward. Axel cannot dodge it. He just tries to shoot through it, but Zorte is the one finding kills elsewhere. A smoke at their faces, and they will be interrupted, but will they really? They want to maybe even push forward. Zorte underneath that Molotov turns back.
Yeah, the fact that Zorte got that incendiary out, it was clear they actually wanted to kind of push past that smoke, but having that incendiary there did stifle their plans. Bomb is still dropped outside of B, so we have to keep an eye out on that. Ooh, shadow spotted. They know about frontales in camera.
At the same time, Zorte is still worried. Frontales has been taken care of for now. All they have to do is make sure that Zorte doesn't just get taken down by one of these stray riflers. Has to have concentrated both players nearby. Remember, that bomb was still plopped away. The timing couldn't be worse for Zorte, but he peeks back into death. Abaraju, the one to provide it to him. Suddenly it's 2 versus 3. You've got yourself flashes. You've got yourself an AWP to take some early sightlines with as well. It's looking good for Hesta, even if it isn't quite in their favor. Magnajez, his first death, will turn it more so.
They do have an incendiary, but they don't have kits. Could be one on Zorte's body in front. Slaxajez just fighting into spawn. Had that flank cleared, and with the position of his teammate with the AWP, took matters into his own hands. A critical triple for Hesta to find themselves in a 2-a lead. And money is not great here for BetBoom to answer back.
I mean, Zorte even finds 2 kills early on in that previous round. They even get frontales on the lurk forward, but it's just, what, it's a 2 versus 4 that they end up losing out, if I'm not wrong, right? A full 2v4. That's going to be something to look back to and perhaps regret. As long as they're not able to get at least a fourth spy after this, I suppose, or rather Eco with a couple of extra deagles and 5-7s. Mukos will take down Magnajez initially, so the possibilities of that are dwindling. Oh, dwindling, but not gone. They know where the bomb is.
You can see there's paranoia now setting in here for Hesta. Bomb was spotted. There's a lot of presence being thrown away inside of A main. There's a lot of bullets being spammed through smokes. Siren still has another smoke that he can deploy that I mean, this would be similar to a T-side lurk smoke, but it also allow them access to the platform and segment the attack if Hesta decide to continue pushing into this A bomb site. But this freeze from Hesta is adding layers of uncertainty here for BetBoom all the same.
I am surprised that BetBoom aren't starting to concentrate even more so towards the A bomb side, but at the very least, they do have 3 players here. Molotov and where it's going to be placed could end up being a problem, though.
Yeah, I mean, there was a minute on the clock, and they know that the bomb could have been recovered. That's great timing on the smoke to play in front of it. They have an HE to blow it open, though. Hesta gonna move through.
Iron hit the deck right now, but Boom is through the smoke and able to find one and reposition backwards. What a shot from Abu Raju. Quick little tap on his Zorte. It might be versus the pistols, but doesn't make it any less impressive.
He didn't get distracted at all as well. I mean, you could see what Boomich was trying to do. I mean, running as fast as he could for the platform, reloads as well. The audibles are available there for him, but he has 2 teammates ahead of him that are trying to scale and are trying to flush out Boomich as best they can. And yeah, just fully focused on the next fight at the bricks. Or may not even have heard it with, you know, how much the communications might have been rattling off there for Hesta.
Yeah. It's going to be 12 for them over here on their own map pick right now. They are looking good doing it. BetBoom, aside from that one full USB win, which, listen, that's just miraculous, right? You don't really look at that and say, yeah, that's on them. Everything else they've gotten is off the back of the best round. They have not won a single gun round so far on the CT side. I don't know if that's going to change as we go into the potentially last round of the game. 5-man beeline for B? No, it's just going to be 4, and frontales is the one to take the lead. Peeking in. No Zorte this time on the other side of the map. It is going to be Magnajest to find himself that first one. Ants will trade, but he can't get the second. Magnajest continues to perform, impressing with the USB as well, but headshot is not enough. Of course it isn't. Smoked off, peeks out, finds the bomb on transit, but can't actually take it down. Grenades being missed doesn't make it any prettier either. 3 versus 3 for BetBoom. Again, Hesta able to reclaim that lead that Magnajest so comfortably provided them. A grenade that goes too deep, and Zorte isn't able to peek through that smoke he was hoping to open. Siren will not find any contest, but Zorte gets Mukos, and with that, it's all frontales. Boomich making so much noise, looking around the corner. He's so preoccupied. There's a kid on Siren as well. In the meanwhile, it's going to be a missed shot, and Boomich's full wide swing will give them that 11.
Very good awareness there from Boomich, and a critically important shot for Zorte to have hit. You know, it's only 1 in this round, but if he misses that shot towards spawn, the entire retake was completely segmented, so losing access to CT spawn when you're still trying to transit into the site, it would have been almost impossible to come out from Temple to really feasibly retake that site. And, I mean, just great heads up from Boomich to not only be able to catch a kill, but then also toy with the last man. Heard the scope. Knew his teammates were going to get on that bomb, so if the last man's looking at him, he's not stopping the defuse.
First attack.
Yeah. They made it 23 rounds without calling attack. But
they also don't have a coach as well. You know, that's something to also keep in mind. So you do always wonder about what the attack is going to be used for, but it's all just from players inside the game at that point.
Yeah. Especially when you're thinking 3v3, they've got actually decent after-plant positions. They have info on where basically every BetBoom player was. You know, those can just be a small moment to breathe. It's not like they've been lacking ideas.
Not at all. Some might say they've had too many ideas.
Yeah, there's a lot of brain work.
Well, last time we were treated to pretty much 5-man towards that B-bomb site. This time it is the A site that is put underneath the magnifying glass. Siren has had quite a few good numbers dialed in. hopes that this is going to be one of them. A Molotov at his feet is hardly going to help, but the flashbang is fantastic. He can't finish off the second kill. It's left to Axel, but he himself will fall. Slacksages on 2 HP is making a beeline over with the bomb. It will not be planted. Boom is trying to save the day, but Magnochez is left all alone. The grenade to take down frontales will help. But now he repositions. Now he goes back to storage. Mukos has a chance over here to re-navigate to the B bomb site if he really wants to. Starts to go for it. Magnochez reads it. Magnochez is understanding what's going on inside the head of Mukos right now. He's got heard the step as well. Now Magnochez can start to go back over. The bomb is being planted in an open position. Magnochez can just pull out the AK, take the deal, take it home. No, he's missed it. He's missed it. And now Mukos showing the shadow off, but he's waiting. Magnochez trying to stick it. Knew he had the shadow advantage on that side. It is 12 and 12 for BetBoom.
I mean, a critical clutch, and we go to an overtime. It is Magno, of course it is. I mean, he was the spark that brought them back into that T side, found entry after entry, and for him to have found that kill with the HE, for him to read the reposition from Hesta, I mean, Mukos tried his best to really play a cheeky game with Magno, but that's the experience that you would expect. And also understanding who their opponent is. Subverting expectations. Well, going B would be crazy. And even though Magno missed his shot, played it perfect. Well, 12.5k, MR4? MR3?
I don't know.
I forget. Yeah. Well, 3 rounds a half.
I guess it'd be MR3, right? Because MR12 is 12 rounds a half.
Yep, yeah. Well, there you go. Yep.
Goes forward. Boom is found, but it's his own teammate stabbed in the back. And grenades being missed. Is this chaos in the Hesta camp? Well, they've lived in it all along anyway. That's just careful, buddy. Molotov thrown out. Raju will die to the flames, but Ants has found Magnochez in the meanwhile. Frontales never really swayed away from this position, and he never really was going to be missing that shot.
It seemed like he was about to give up the position as well, and then there was a step made by Zorte that reacquired his attention. Wow. Well, Frontales jump spotting does find Axile as well, trying to save his M4, and well, he'll just drop straight into Axile. Full confidence for the peak. Hesta may have struggled to finish off in regulation, but first round of the OT, they strike. It's a much faster call as well. They didn't hesitate, play out a slow default. They didn't stage the round in a similar timing that they had in rounds gone by. So maybe that small change was enough to throw BetBoom off. They've been holding on to quite a lot of their utility and resources for these late site executes. HE is decent. Zorte down to 70. A creep into that is all about spamming and running through. That's a quick collapse on B.
It's all down to Magnochez right now to intercept. Axel's come here on his side this time over. Axel, the one with the multi-kill, but Frontales still with that deagle. Chases forward inside the smoke. Will trace him out, and as Axel found 2, it has to be more, but he doesn't have the bullets for it. Relies on Siren instead. From behind Frontales. 1 versus 4, grenades to the face, and it's a bullet to the body. Axel will finish that triple.
Yeah, they weren't taking chances with Frontales, were they? They understood where he was. They double HE him. They're all ready to swing simultaneously, because when you got that open play, you can only fire so fast. But great reaction from BB. They had a little precursor. Hesta walked straight into the smoke and just started spamming the common positions to play around the edge of that con smoke and just tried to burst into the B bomb site. Had they not been met with an incendiary, that maybe the round is kind of changed. A very fast couple of rounds into the OT. Frontales just taking a chance. Smoke blooms in his face.
Magnajez, but a grenade to the face of Ants is hardly going to be a nice little reward for the kill he's found. Still, now it feels like all the pressure comes out on Anubis. He spots out a player with a knife in his hand, but it's Mukos to just end up getting away from Frontales. It's an elbow, but it's nothing beyond that. It's still a B-bomb side hit, and Siren going down makes it all the more difficult. Axel trying his hardest to defend, but it's really just not enough. Boomich comes in from behind, and it does feel like it's just impossible of a hit. It has to be 14 for Hesta, surely. Smoke's going to start to dissipate. This is about the time when Boomich becomes the playmaker, starts to peek forward with the help of a flashbang that is now dodged and puts him down. And Zorte is on his side, not his preferred weapon, but not his preferred situation either. He will go down and be the victim with Hesta claim number 14.
It's just about the balance you would, I guess, carry over from regulation into an OT. You know, 2 rounds to the 1. Of course, this is where BetBoom did find quite a great deal of success themselves. Spoiler, that's how you get into an overtime. You have just as good as half as your opponent. But Hesta did have to fight against resources. And that's always the caveat with when we were comparing regulations to OT, is that the money is readily available here for Hesta to take some of those risks and go for buys they couldn't. And one of those changes is Abiraju on a secondary AWP.
He's just chilling away on the back of the B-bomb side. That's exactly what he was doing with the rifle as well. So might be changing the gun in his hand, but you can't be changing the style. Ants damage is all right on the Magnajez. Slaxajez will be the one on the A-bomb site, likely to be challenged very soon. Full execute being planned out. It will have both Slaxajez and Frontales in position with that AWP. He's able to move past that utility initially and get some good sightlines out. Where are the flashes? Siren needed them, but Frontales gets an open sightline. Will be able to get that 1 kill before traded away. And as they progress forward, it's Slaxajez for 1. Muko is found by Magno, who's got 3. That isn't done yet. Once more from this round, Abiraju might be regretting that secondary op, but BetBoom have already started to recede backwards. They know that Abiraju had been playing that B-bomb site. They could be worried about that Canal's presence, but with him now falling, Ansel already revealing himself inside the site. What is Boomich looking at? Maybe a late play expected, but nothing of the sort. Zorte connects and equalizes.
Yeah, I don't know that you can be too careful with how Hesta have been with their pacing and how slow they can be, sometimes how rapid they can be running through smokes. So, yeah, Boomich was just serving as an early signal, perhaps, to Zorte that there was someone coming in on the flank. Didn't try and perform the AWP switch out. You know, Boomich, for a time, did AWP himself. As much as people didn't want that. A very reasonable situation where he could have attempted. Still double AWPs here for Hesta. This is very all-in. They will not have a ton of reserve cash on Frontales or Abiraju should they cede this round.
Not at all. Always risky.
It's very rare you'll see teams snap up into double AWPs in 2 rounds of the overtime. Especially on CT.
It's also very strange to see, considering how much of Hesta's CT side was sort of characterized by activity. And Anubis isn't the kind of map where you can say, hey, we've got 2 offs, we're going to play passive, and then the 3 riflers are just going to be hyper active all across the map. Sort of like an old school Mirage situation. Nuke spotting out from legs, but he doesn't realize it. Boomich is taken down, but Siren ready for the trade.
Well, that was an odd state of affairs, but a B-side finish. Zorte has Ants pinned to the wall. There's still 2 more players on this B-bomb site, but they molly themselves off. An incendiary also at their feet that will actually help mask that issue, but Abiraju at the back of the site finds his, and the fact that those players outcon could not provide any support comes back to bite BetBoom.
Ooh, what a shot from Siren. Abiraju felt like he was completely ready for that one, but still, BetBoom are done biting themselves. Good flashbang, and Zorte is there on the punish. Perfectly played to recover. It is 15. Now match point.
Yeah, 2 versus 3. I mean, Siren gets his beautiful shot, that's true, but then Zorte has his back covered as well with the AWP. That's 3 from Zorte. Straight into the OT. Basically hand delivers around from the ult pick into the connector to then breaching back at a man down disadvantage. Is there any solution that Hesta can provide on a double MP9?
To be honest, I feel like I'm more likely to see success on the double MP9 than the double off from them with the way they've been playing.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's unreasonable to say either. Magno now just 1 kill shy of 30. He's had a kill a round so far in this game. And it's all been hard earned. Look at it, 100 ADR.
Yeah, exactly a kill around.
He's not HEing and nobody. He's not mollying nobody.
Not at all. He's just shooting.
Actually, he had that 1 kill where he got like 4 damage and a Molotov, but we're not counting that.
BetBoom might be able to accelerate over here and actually put Magnajez in a position to find that initial duel versus Aberaju. A flashbang would go a long way if you've got that with it, but even otherwise, Magna just wants to push forward. He knows where Aberaju is, but that's the problem with the MP9s. The mobility they provide is too much. It's too much. BetBoom look to cave unless there's a pathway from Siren presented. As he looks forward, hunts around, Slaxajez will be taken down, and that A-bomb site is open for business.
See, it's pulling everyone on Hesta. Boomich, I think, expects that he'll have a free kill in just a moment. I think he heard the processions from Mukosh outside of Con, but Siren, even though he's ready, gets floored. So that A-side presence has been dispelled. Abiraju should anticipate what's coming next. His angle's great for this as well.
He knows it as well. Frontales will be able to put him down. It is going to be 15 and 15. Very likely soon. Boomich, last one to try and just hold on to things. He smoked down to allow him to proceed forward, but really you wonder if he would have preferred to just take a fight. And reveals position with a spray. Frontales around the corner as well. Boomich tries to fake himself backwards, but they are not biting. They're waiting for this bomb to be dialed in. There's 15 seconds left. They know they've won this round already. There's no way for Boomich to win over here. It is going to be double overtime.
Yeah, it's just not time. And he knows it as well. Throws the bomb, and no one has to goes out to peek him. A 15th round acquired by the CTs, and it comes off of the low buy. You know, you were right to highlight it. Double AWPs, who needs them? Double MP9s can be just as effective, if not more so. And you could tell BetBoom were trying to dial in on the fact that there was probably going to be a lack of money on a couple of players. I think they ID'd that double AWP. They knew Frontales was the main man, and then suddenly they're getting AWP'd by Abiraju. It happened twice over, but they couldn't punish. Them pacing things up, played right into that MP9.
I can't believe they've gone back to the double off.
I'm not going to learn my lesson.
You'll have to make me. We did, twice. Again.
Oh, we're going to have to teach these new dogs old tricks.
What, like bark?
Yeah. Like,
it's the oldest trick in the book.
You teach them through experience. And if Hesta don't get punished, they'll never learn. So we'll have to see whether or not they sink or swim with this double AWP. It's not like they haven't been finding kills. It's just not getting massive production.
With help of those double nades, Ants has found himself into a very good position to aggress forward and keep it going. Now, Zort is worried about it, but look at where Ants is. Flash doesn't matter. He's still watching out for it. He gets one for free. Could be more if Zorte missed, but he doesn't. Good insurance. Faster smoke and Slaxages will be taken down. So 4 versus 3, despite the nice movement from Ants.
Cross again. This time he doesn't just destroy Boomage. Zorte, lovely flick, but didn't spot for frontales. And now they know exactly where that last man stands here on Hesta. Would be pragmatic to save that AWP, but 1-on-2. He still, I imagine, fancies his chances somewhat.
But at the same time, if he saves now, maybe we can get 3 double ops.
Yeah. I mean, genuinely, yes.
No, he's going to make a run for it. Of course he is. 26 and 17. You don't stop at a time like this.
Yeah, they've heard him.
Information given over. Frontales moving in. A impossible crossfire to deal when he had a chance. He really did, Michael. But the quick scope not landing, and 16 will be found by BetBoom just 1 round too late.
Well, let's go for it again, shall we? Oh, they back off. They actually do back off that double ult.
Disgusting.
Well, it's a lesson learned. I mean, if you think about the way that some of the rounds went in regulation, I agree with you. You know, shifting into the double ult was a way to catch them off guard. There's no reason to triple, quadruple down on that one idea. Especially if it's not as successful as, you know, when Abiraju has a rifle. Because he's actually had a few multi-kills on this B-bomb site.
Oh, the shot from Dallas is perfect. Nice little push forward, but does Boomage realize that there's been one player left behind? A little package, a little present. And it's Abiraju sending over his regards. 3 versus 5 now, early on into the round. BetBoom, I've got the work cut out for them.
Yeah, such a minor gap in timing that Boomage just doesn't anticipate one to have cleared out B main. And the 3 versus 5 is still very spread here from BetBoom. They're really hoping they can find a pick somewhere on the map. Siren's trying to throw presence at A. It has lent over quite a lot of the defense here from Hesta. You can see the ground being taken here from Magno and the recession from Abiraju in response. So they feel like they've been hoodwinked. You know, they've lost complete control over B. Magno has thrown some presence. Zorte picking one off in middle, but continuing to commit to B may be a mistake. They're triple CT.
But the thing is, until they make noise, oh, Magno just gets the jump on one of them. Abiraju is going to be able to get the trade, but Zorte's still around. Zorte's still around, spots out the elbow, looking for the hunt. There's still assistance to come through in the form of Mukos, who is low. 15 seconds left. That wallbang is not enough. Zorte cannot plant the bomb. Now Siren needs to get the double kill over here. It's verticality, and it is impossible, absolutely impossible to win it.
I can't believe that kill, or that shot from Zorte did not finish off the job. I mean, 20 odd HP with an AWP. I understand he shot through the brick, but
You'd think he gets it.
yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting it to do more than 50 damage, but I'm expecting it to do more than 25 or whatever was left.
Nice attempt from BetBoom, but at the end of the day, they did still lose 2 players early, and that's something they cannot let happen again. A flashbang avoided. Zorte will be able to proceed forward and get a quick kill. Now, the aggression from A is expected, but Slackstitches is able to find one. They don't know Frontales is nearby. That being said, that could end up working out for them. Mukos is left all alone on this B-bomb site. He gets the 1, reveals position for 2. Zorte's scope betrays him. And now you're back to a 2 versus 2. Hesta may even have him pushing through the smoke right now. Boomage has turned around. Boomage has no idea. Boomage is going to be put down over here as well. Disaster has struck.
Just sheer confidence that he's read everything correct. His teammate's about to clear con, so the suspicions being raised about whether or not the B bomb site has been compromised. Push has to dial in on one position. He'll instantly flick to Siren. That's a 4K out of nowhere there from Mukosh. Just as Zorte pried open that B bomb site with the help of Axel. You thought it could have been enough. A knockout punch, but instead it's a 2 versus 4 that's recovered by Mukosh.
Well, BetBoom believe in the double op, even if Hesta do not any longer. Zorte, never man to be doubted, to be fair.
He's leveled up as the game has gone on, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he's on 29 kills right now, chasing MagnoChess's 30.
Yeah, and you think about the peaks that he was taking in regulation, he was hardly as aggressive, but now he's forcing fights and winning them.
Zorte is waiting out for the double swing to come his way. First one is free. Maybe there's another one where that came from. The problem is the smoke. He still gets 3 somehow. Zorte wants to keep it rolling. Answers double kill though, puts him right back into things, but the reload might betray him. Molotov in his hands, but he's caught in the back. It is all down to Mukos once again. Called the clutch. 1 versus 3. Boomich and company closing in on the bomb. AWP in the hand of Boomich. They need to find Mukos. They have no idea. They're checking out every angle. At least that's what they think. But Mukos still has to jump on them. They don't think he can be here. They have no idea at all. Mukos ready. 1, 2. Not number 3. But Magno will have time barely just to get the defuse. No. He's lost it, Michael. He's lost it.
Zorte cleared it. He ran into Temple and thought Mukosh would have been peeking something, holding anything. And he prayed that they did not check that corner thoroughly enough, and his prayers were answered.
Boomich is going to be kicking himself right there for not checking that, yeah.
Was it Boomich? I thought it was Zorte with the AWP.
No, Zorte died. He got a triple kill and died. It was Ants to kill him and everything. Boomich picked it up.
Right. Yeah, of
sorry,
course.
Boomich was double opping. Sorry, yeah. That's what
yeah, so yeah, it was that AWP to clear out Temple. That was yeah. It was the only place he could have been in that I mean, B main was definitely still a possibility, and you could see that they were doubling in on that.
Especially with the way the bomb was planted, right? Like, they're not expecting him to be Temple in that situation.
It's such an unconventional post-plant position, but they also weren't expecting to lose con control as fast as that either, so
18 now for Hesta. Ready to close out the series. Not the series, rather the map. It's been a long one. Siren falls. Aggression met by relentless defense on the T side, funnily enough. But at least they've taken out the boogeyman of the last 2 rounds. Mukos is in the ground, 6 feet under.
I mean, there's just been other threats as well. You know, it's been a battle and trial by committee. So you might put one boogeyman down, but there's more where that came from.
God damn it, these boogeymen.
Can't stop the boogie.
I don't think BetBoom are going to be feeling that way if they lose this one. They had their chances. They had their advantages. And right now, they need to have a B-site hold between MagnoChess and Exile.
There's not an HE that can blow this smoke.
They need to find timing for it. No, just shoots right through it instead. And it's actually Exile waiting inside that smoke. Maybe even waiting for a flashbang, anything of the sort. No, grenade from the other side. In fact, is what pushes him away. Exile continues to be a menace at the back of the bomb site. He cannot be found right now. Des lines it up but cannot find it. Abiraju, how is he alive? The wall barely just protecting him, and now a frontales in good position. It feels like it's a losing battle for the BetBoom side. Exile still putting up a show with 2 kills, but he needs 2 more. Zorte all alone with an AWP and no weapon to pick up. A smoke on the ground to try and differentiate, but it's a lurk smoke that hasn't gone quite as far as he wanted it. Behind the pillar, Abiraju lies. It is going to be frontales to finish things off. Hesta take their own map pick.
Yeah, and it's a 4K from Abiraju that finally secures it here for Hesta. This was a mad and wild game of Counter-Strike from both sides. Some of the late round calls that Hesta were going for, some of the late round decisions that BetBoom themselves were, I guess, trying to be cheeky with the wall outside, for example. Even on CT or T side, I feel like you've got kind of a 50-50 chance on both ends of the spectrum. So, yeah, it'll be curious whether that playstyle carries over or whether we see a bit more of a benchmark for Hesta that shows that that slow, methodical style can actually translate into solid side executes on this map as well.
I just want to see if Hesta want to go out for more double offs.
Well, not until the overtimes.
BetBoom start things out with a smoke outside. We've got a flash, a grenade, and a Molotov with that as well. Just trying to isolate out the duels versus frontales. Mirage has been taken down a bit lower than maybe he would like to be. A lot of damage being dealt out of the CTs, but Axel is the first one to claim blood. And frontales will fall. Slack suggests second to go down, and in BetBoom do seem to be in good spirits as they move back to the B bomb site, but it is a B bomb site overly populated. Why not go to A instead?
Yeah, I mean, they saw two players trying to guard outside. They had one in main that they were able to deal with, and with all the kills that they find on that outer yard, the reaction from Hesta is read into. So 2-on-5. There's a kit available here for Mukosh, and Ansi's fresh and healthy, but, well, he was healthy until Exile flanks him, so it's really well handled, really well managed. I don't think Mukosh will survive here, so he's gonna have to try and find an exit route through spawn. Or he could try and ninja defuse. That would be the crazier thing to do, and he's gonna try and go for it. They've heard him though, and Boomich does not let him get away with any shenanigans.
He knew. We all know.
It's the only way that he
on the Na'Vi team that got ninja defused by Kaze.
Yeah. Well, it was the only way he could win the round, so may as well account for that. A very convincing pistol start for BetBoom on their map pick. We'll jumpstart the engine here on their T side, and it's basically full USPs here for Hesta. Bar Ants, who holds a deagle, stack into the ramp. Exile ready to greet them, and they're trying to swap out for that deagle as much as they can, but no problem sweeping up the pieces.
Solid start for BetBoom.
Yeah.
One death.
Controlling.
Slaxerjess was one of the players who later on into the game was being picked off quite a bit by Siren while he was trying to anchor out on the A side of Anubis. That's something that I'm curious about, whether that is a problem or maybe it starts going the other way around. Here at the CD side of Nuke. Helping out from Dallas is the one who's finding problems. Magnojess just takes him down, flashed out or not. It is still going to be Ants on the other side who's trying to add assistance. Assistance, however, is really there. At most, it's company for the journey with the Ferryman. Now from Slack suggests while Siren will find Mukos in the upper bomb site, it is looking like BetBoom are right back to winning ways. Slack suggests the only one who might be somewhat unexpected, but even then Siren is keeping an eye out for it just in case. Will still be poked apart, but death is inevitable. And in more ways than just the literal sense.
That was almost a little awkward. Boomich's head was actually casting a shadow on by his position on the rafters, so actually gave Slackers a chance to do a little bit more damage, but that's all it would have really been. Tall order to clutch back that round. And still, it's, I mean, one death and a full buy. I mean, I'm a bit surprised at how smooth of a start this has already gone off to.
Axel putting up really good defense in the previous game as well, but we know that he can come through with even more. Now, I'm honestly much more curious on the individual levels that we're going to see from Hesta over here. Frontales started off incredibly hot in Anubis, ended up slowing down a fair bit. And I think that's natural. I think that's understandable when you start being figured out. That will happen. But right now, this is what I wanted to see. Those deagle shots coming through. Find one, no more than that for now. Smoked off, and it's Zorti who cleans him up inside that smoke.
like to see a confident Zorte. Lukosh has found good timing to secure himself a little position between the T-side players, but Siren goes back to check that wasn't a possibility. Magno recognizing that there was a gap in his vision, and it's accounted for. Now, to recount, you know, there was a lot of teams and names I mentioned on the run for Hesta from the open qualifier into the closed qualifier where, you know, I know they beat Nexus. I guess I don't really talk about so far in this close qualifier, but they beat Nexus 2-0 and did so quite convincingly on the first map, and then were strained to the end of the second, but did close out. And they played also against Gamer Legion, but that was in the upper bracket where they start off, they win 13-7 on Anubis. Gamer Legion win 13-11 on Nuke, and then Gamer Legion were allowed to take back the series by closing out on Mirage 13-7. So Anubis may be just one of those maps that has to feel like they've got the greatest familiarity with.
Interestingly enough, even though the Gamer Legion side won on Nuke, frontales had a 1.41 rating on that map.
Yeah, that he did.
So you will see why I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to offer over here.
So far, not so prevalent, but that's him and the rest of the team.
He has 33% of all his team skills right now, I'll have you know.
Statistically accurate.
Look at this line that the CTs are making of just sort of mid-level aggression into the A sites and into ramp as well to some extent. Abiraju's incendiary keeps Magnus honest, but he's still fine. This lower bomb site will not be having anyone coming through to actually help out unless frontales makes that decision. In fact, no, Abiraju as well decides to rotate down under from that A site.
Should have heard that Boomage dropped onto main, so there will be some suspicions raised still that this could be a diversion that Magno has been able to cross.
Flashes come through. 55 seconds. Boomage has gotten full control over the hell area of the map, but the problem is Siren has pushed forward and been pushed into by Ants. Ants shuts him down. Boomage now has to reroute. He no longer feels comfortable going back to hell or heaven. The underside of the map, though, is still really looking quite empty. Abiraju is going to be peeked into. Axel spots him out, but he doesn't get the kill. And Abiraju, unscratched by that affair at the very least. Boomage will find Slackstitches on the rotate. Back over to A, they want to go, but with Boomage dying, this is looking impossible. Frontales can't find any kills, but you know what he can find? A round win delivered to him by his teammates.
Yeah, I mean, great job from Ants to have found them an advantage in the first place, but kind of feel a little bad for Magnojez. He took so much damage on his cross. He was, what, 29 HP by the time he goes towards the lower side of the map, and all of his teammates have kind of died around him. And he'll even get taken down after time, if I'm not mistaken. So, where there hasn't been economic strain in the rounds that BetBoom have won, just the fact that Magno doesn't get that little extra as a result of losing the round within time could provide a little bit of economic strain.
It's going to be maybe even a run back to Secret for Ants to be planned. Now, Abiraju has to be careful to not reveal himself a little bit too early, but in fact, it's Magnojez who ends up again worse for wear within that exchange. Still alive, though, as the push comes in onto the A side from the T's. Boomage running into a Molotov of its own design. Siren good for one. Why stop there when you can get two? Abiraju and Frontales will be pushed away, but now they're going to be finding Magnojez on the other side. Frontales puts him down. 3 versus 4, they still go for it. Frontales is really hoping to be given any sort of information, any sort of chance at one more kill, but BetBoom are playing it passive.
I mean, they've got 3 smokes and 3 flashes. This is definitely feasible if they want to eliminate angles, but with a fresh smoke main, yeah, they're calling the save. They will hold on to those resources for a future round. A lovely double kill there from Siren. Good awareness as well to keep eyes on those vents. Mukosh alongside... was it Abiraju that started towards Secret? Or tried to go that way?
No, it was...
Ants.
Ants, yes.
Yeah. From just those outside smokes, there was that immediate from spawn call for Ants to go towards Secret, and then having Mukosh go into the vents alongside him. Felt like a little bit of an overcommitment given how quickly they decided to snap into that decision, and as BetBoom decides to go for that A-side attack, Siren just keeping an eye out on those vents and catches Mukosh trying to traverse back up as Boomich is making his way through main and putting a lot of pressure on the A defenders.
Boomich wants to lead the charge back out towards ramp.
They're double starting to the secret steps. There's no one ramp.
That's going to be a problem. If Boomich is able to speedway back out towards Hell instead of ramp itself, that would be difficult. But no, they're going to the B bomb site. That means Hesta are in perfect position to actually hold on to this one. But no, Ants is taken down. They know that there should be at least one player here. When they don't find anyone at ramp, do they expect the second or, in fact, the third?
At this point, they're thinking about whether or not the CTs are retaking and the positions that they can hold, so they should anticipate everything. Mukosh, deep clear, back lobby, does catch Magnojez on his very late attempt to lurk, but also could have been securing a path to save. And it does seem like Hesta are, once again, going to opt for exactly that. They try to go for a very different look at the start of the CT round, and they get hoodwinked. There's a gap in ramp that's exploited.
How is Mukosh finding a path to save when they're 5v5? I mean, that's insane. And they have players with the low bomb set. It's not like they're just a mile away or anything.
Yeah. It was a 5 versus 4, but it is kind of mad to think that Magno, I mean, he was going to try and flank them regardless.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Mukosh, good presence of mind.
1-6 right now. Hesta looking nothing like what we saw them on Anubis. But if it comes down to some good calls from BetBoom as well, let's not take anything away from them. Credit where credit is due. But also so far, the highest that you have are 3 on anyone. They're on 2 players. Boomich and company are hoping to try and keep that record looking spick and span. 1-for-1 trade initially. Frontales will be given up no option whatsoever. But Magnojez's quick base is completely unexpected. Mukosh not ready at all.
Yeah, I mean, from map to map, I mean, this is incoherent from Hesta. You think about how fast their rotations were on Anubis, how together they played, and we compare this to Nuke now, where they're getting picked apart, and the rotations are slow. They're not ready to make those dives and protect lower bomb sites. A night and day difference, and this was a team that tested Gamer Legion quite thoroughly, and Gamer Legion, they're quite big fans of Nuke.
Yeah. So
I imagine BetBoom have been able to look at that game and recognize some of the weaknesses that Hesta have, some of the lack of protocols or these slower rotates where Gamer Legion were maybe flying up far blinder. BetBoom are fully exploiting the weaknesses that Hesta have maybe shown from that game.
I mean, Frontales seems like he's also just not gotten any chances for duels, right? And he was one of the big win conditions that we discussed from earlier on versus Gamer Legion. He needs to make a change up in how he's going for these rounds. Maybe an earlier proactivity with assistance from a teammate, anything at all is fine, but need that propellant. BetBoom. No longer scared, not even slightly. They've found their comfort levels again, and right now that comfort comes into ramp, but Zorte will quickly find that it is false. A recliner with studs on the back, but Magnojez will get Mukosh in trade. He always does seem to find himself on 19 HP one way or another, but at least this time it's with a kill.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's suffering a lot on this journey towards outside. He's been throwing his body at it and just throwing presence. But yeah, getting it back to a 4-on-4 will serve BetBoom a lot of good.
Frontales with the op just went up to the roof, flanked out behind Magnochez and got the kill. Meanwhile, Ants has not been cleared. What is going on? BetBoom are completely lost in the sauce of their own design.
They stopped and freeze for so long at the ramp, and they knew that one was there. That is a little surprising to see that they don't check those corners close enough, and they're caught with util out. But yeah, that move from Frontales was kind of outrageous. We didn't get to see it, but I think you're right on the money with his routing.
I did say he needed to do something different. I guess he has obliged. Second point of success for Hesta as they creep up, and they're still hoping for maybe 4 rounds on the board. 5 would be a godsend.
I mean, this is already a very successful T-side display from BetBoom. Their campaign has been rather fruitful, and this time the timing for Slaxijez just works out wonders for Boomage.
Frontales, what's going on over here? In the meanwhile, fully blinded up by Axel. Flashes, doesn't even realize he's burning. No crumbs from a teammate to tell him. Mirage is inside the smoke. They're all victims of utility. Right now, with knives going on in the smoke, Magno even pulls out a Glock. Back of the head, shot down. BetBoom are cruising.
Magno knew he was in there. He spammed his whole magazine. He pulled his knife out, couldn't find him, and by the time he emerges with the Glock, he suddenly finds an open back. So where are the timeouts for Hesta now? They used them to great effect on Anubis when it was 12-11. They still didn't necessarily win those rounds, but you can certainly understand the thought process behind it and make sure players reset or trying to find solutions. They're not doing that at all here.
Well, for now, they are trading, and I didn't get to see any of those, but I will tell you, Axel is full HP with 2 kills. Probably means they were crisp. Gonzalez, hoping to get the backstab. BetBoom aren't ready for this if he starts to move in, but he, in turn, isn't going to be able to provide anything on the safe site while it's going to be the bomb getting planted. He's no stranger to strange moves. But right now, a missed shot means that Boomage can continue his terrorization of his A site. 8-3 right now. It's in fact 8s all over the place, but we all know that Boomage, with that IGLing, is a real 9.
It's so strange to see how much of a night and day difference this is. It is genuinely kind of absurd.
I mean, it just feels like something in Hesta's brains has been switched off. Their game just can't play the same way right now.
Yeah.
And BetBoom as well. Everything's been inserted into theirs. It's all working. Yeah, you're not worried. You're not scared.
Everyone's getting kills. They're confident. They're swinging and just destroying Hesta. You'd be forgiven to think it's not the same team.
Maybe just one map wonders. But one does wonder what Ants is up to. Will not find anything. Boomage is just so sharp right now.
They did also 13-3 a Nexus that have been capitulating coming into the new year. So that was still an upset, given that we have limited information on Hesta, but that was on Mirage. And, you know, you're still expecting Nexus to save some face there. So maybe Mirage is also a map that they can add to their wheelhouse. A wheelhouse of 2. And that's all they'll get in the first half, in fact. 10-2 at the half. BetBoom setting a statement and setting good terms on their map pick in the series.
First half not great, second half better be better. That's the call that Hesta have made to each other in the break time. Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Dallas close qualifiers for Europe. BetBoom are hoping to take out their map pick in a breeze.
Yeah, we reside in the lower bracket, so it's do or die for a team like BetBoom being that map down. And we're setting some very healthy first half.
Axel being run down, but he's got company in the form of Zorte, Axel, Magnachez, and Zorte continuing to stop any sort of progression from Hesta.
They've gotten good position on frontales, but fighting forward, yeah, they should be able to deal with ants, and that's the bomb dropped. So frontales did get a knife. That very advantageous position that he held, flanking towards the heavens, does get him a lot of extra cash. But can they recover this round? Because cash may not go that far when you've only got 2 to play with.
And not the bomb. I think maybe even more importantly. The problem is that BetBoom do have their players isolated away from each other, right? Zorta and Siren are nowhere in proximity. Plenty of noise being made. Zorte getting scared about what's going on. He's actually starting to worry about the squeaky door being open and anyone coming down from vents as well. And in the meanwhile, Zorte now realizes they're both next to him, and he really has been the raid boss so many times in the series. 3 kills already in the pistol round. Looks for just a little bit more, the elevation, the verticality, hoping to give himself the advantage, and he didn't need it.
Yeah, perfectly done there from Zorte. 4 kills. He was there alongside Magno and Axel to sort of cover that cross. Found a lot of impact from it and didn't overplay his hand or his position, especially when he knew the clock was against Hesta, that bomb was down. And even playing a little bit of ring around the rosy there on the bomb site. So a pistol attained here for BetBoom. It's a little bit more difficult to acquire than it was on that T side. And you can imagine, of course, Hesta snapped into a bit of a buy. Some buying full. That Frontales knife going a long way and getting an AK and armor alongside it. But they've still kept some reserve cash as well. Wow, okay. That was synchronized killing and trading. Zorte got it at range, but Ants did get a shot with the Deeg. Oh, bent cross covered, and Mirage, you cannot find the entrance.
Oh no, Boomich gets the same fate that he delivered elsewhere, but Siren is at least there to help him out a little bit more. Slax is just left all alone, but he will be able to get the bomb front, and look, you take the small wins, I suppose.
Could be more. Siren's low.
It'll be very difficult to be able to get that duel safely without anyone being nearby to refrag it, though. Siren's even going to continue forward and just try and fight it out. They have a grenade on Zorte, so they can just blow open this door if they want to, and that's exactly what they'll do. So with that, the round is basically guaranteed to be gone. They don't have kits on any of these players, but it, like I said, will really not matter too much. Siren will get the defuse up to 12 and map point for BetBoom.
Will Axel be able to recover an M4? There was one.
No. Got an AK.
Yeah, well, that's even better. Forgot that was dropped in main.
Last chance saloon over here on Nuke, but let's be honest, the saloon is very much closed, pretty much. Hesta at this point can only hope to find some confidence as we look towards Mirage. BetBoom just have to make sure that the foot stays on the gas and they don't have to think about things too much.
Wow, okay.
Second shot.
That was
incredibly low.
Followed up, and Zorte is caught by a flash. Oh, and running out of bullets. So overwhelmed. They find 2 picks immediately.
This is exactly what you have to be scared about if you're BetBoom, but at the same time, these are players well low. Slaxojet and Frontales not feeling good, but Axel's feeling even worse. The demonic Boomit seems to be the only one who can find a kill in this round, and he's hoping for more than just that. Siren will be completely circumnavigated. Boomich is going to be blindsided on timing potentially, but Abiraju cannot run. So it really comes out to Ants to be able to provide a bit more of a delay. AK pulled back out. Is he going for another knife? That will be 2 times that Boomich gets knifed. on the CT side, no, can't really go all that far.
Yeah, just as Boomich starts to look back at the ramp, he realizes that there's someone standing right behind me, isn't there? There's always going to be a chance to save. That was what Boomich was angling for. To get a better weapon than the FAMAS. And he leaves empty-handed. It's Siren that will retain his weapon. So a little bit of a kick there from Hesta. Mirage loses his weapon to the bomb. But hey, you're playing backs up against the wall if you want to really make this comeback happen. It's a very long road.
I believe in Siren. Hero M4. But on a serious note, for Hesta, good round for them to be able to find over there. A couple more like that, and even if you lose 13-7, 13-8, you're very happy going into Mirage.
Yeah, it recovers your confidence a bit.
And for a team as young as them, it's really desperately needed.
Well, you say young. I mean, a lot of players hovering around 22, 24. I think there's one 17-year-old in the mix.
There's an 18-year-old as well in there.
Oh, yes. Yeah, forget about him as well.
But the team is young as a spiritual concept of a team. Axile and his dualies will find some success, but that is all they will have in this round.
Yeah, it's Mukosh who's 18 and Slaxajez that is 17. Just to make sure we have that accurate.
But how old is frontales?
22.
Okay.
And a
22-year-old talent out here.
Yep.
A talent that hasn't really been able to fully rear its head in Nuke. Yes, of course, we understand, but we will keep an eye out.
Again, a little harder to be sporadic and quirky, I suppose, on Nuke. Encounter a few of those difficulties. Mukosh does get himself down the vent, but he's low HP, and it's actually the AWP that looks to greet him. The fact that he's low health may not matter. Well, getting fully blinded up. But Boomich is here to try and relieve some of that strain. Zorte won't miss 3 times in a row.
I can't believe that Mukosh keeps it going even after all of those boons being offered. But Frontales is actually been able to find Zorte as a result of it.
How was Abiraju managed to get down the vent as well?
Was the glass broken? Surely it wasn't. I don't think he did on
he
the way
opened
there.
The door.
Yeah. If he'd broken the glass as well, that would have been big grain. Abiraju would have been tanking him right now. But for now, it'll still be Frontales, who is expected to lead the charge. Continues to hard go forward into ramp. He knows he needs to hit this shot if they want any chance of making this work. Axile is nowhere really nearby. If there's going to be defense on the B-bomb site, it will be delivered by the hands of Boomich, who is
thunderfooting,
making a fair bit of noise. They're going to know Abiraju has never revealed his position, but he's been here all in the meanwhile. Information given up, but Boomich is still able to find the one. Molotov goes awry. That's not where it needed to be, but Abiraju still makes up for their blunder.
Bomb has been planted.
Looking to just try and pre-fire it out, but can't find Abiraju, who crouches in, makes himself a smaller target, and BetBoom at this point might just be thinking about going for the save. They can recover that Zorte AWP if they want to, but no. They want to fight instead. In goes Axel, Siren as well, trying to make a beeline for it. Magnujez the one to find a quick kill. Axel's already hit the deck and hands all alone. There is no kit though, so this is going to be very tough right at the nick of time. They're going to have to back off and save.
Yeah, it was planted in an unconventional spot, so it actually takes them just an extra second to realize, and they're too far away from that package. Had they known exactly where the plant position was, they may have made more of a beeline for it while trying to also clear out that final man, but it's that realization a little too late. They heard those beeps change tone, and they knew they were out of time. So by the skin of their teeth, hanging on here. You can tell how spun out Boomich was, by the way, with how fast Abiraju was out to greet him. Boomich started looking into the rafters. He heard those metal steps and thought that's the only way that they could try and trade frag me, and it just wasn't the case.
I mean, he does well to even get 1 kill over there. But can BetBoom do anything with the saved weapons? That's a lot of noise.
Yeah, very loud drop there from Boomich.
And he's just trying to fake it out like, I could be here. You don't know that. Zort is found with the AWP, saved up from the previous round. Very nicely done from Ants. Gets an easy shot. And while they're looking for recovery, what a vertical spray. Very nicely done.
Yeah, caught the shadow of Zorte, so was ready for that initial kill at red, but yeah, the little vertical transfer is a thing of beauty there from Ants.
Bomb has been planted.
Now, I love a good ninja attempt on Nuke, but no kit, no smoke, and now broken legs.
Have you ever heard of a ninja with broken legs?
I imagine it was with great difficulty.
Terrorists win.
It is a story the Jedi would not have told you.
I can see why.
Because they were pretty embarrassed about that guy.
What
Oh my
lesson
God,
would you
stop
learn?
talking about him.
How could he even make a career?
6 rounds found for Hesta, and they've done well for themselves so far. This is where if BetBoom lose one more round and are forced back down onto an eco, maybe they start to have a bead of sweat running down the side of their faces. Jazz, very fast play attempted. The ROPS movement from Abiraju will not find success. But you can see Hesta feeling stylish. Might be the round where they are put to bed yet, but Mukosh will find 2, brings it back to a 3v3. The Molotov will not be able to prevent Zort from peeking out though. And that's what gives BetBoom the advantage once again. Ants has to be careful. Axe out on the other side. Ready for this duel is Ants 2v2. And Frontales has been outside for so long, but is not awarded a kill on the back of his efforts. Look at where this bomb is. It is nowhere to be seen.
Good awareness here from Frontales. Are you expecting Zorte to try and shift up his angles? But with so much time on the clock and that bomb out of possession, the fact that Frontales is staying stoic and staying static doesn't often lead to great results. Goodness, MagnoJazz made so much noise retreating from the garage that Frontales catches him in further transition, but Zorte is very nearby.
If he misses a soft shot, it's gone. But no, he won't even be given that chance initially. 20 seconds left. Is he trying to go back down to secret? No chances. Tech 9. Close range could be problematic, but with the hand spotted, BetBoom will still close it out. 13 is found. A good counteraction to that first map. BetBoom still clean it up comfortably.
Yeah, and very confident stuff there from BetBoom from start to finish. I mean, that T side, it just felt like they were steamrolling them. And every duel, they were reading right past them. They were exploding onto these maps like Dust 2 and Mirage in particular in terms of which side you start on. I think some teams will really value the ability to set the tone and the pace on that T side. Of course, I mean, with the way that you have Zorte performing right now on the AWP, you probably want to get him as active as possible, and that's probably easier to do on CT. So, I think some of it comes down to ethos. It's not quite as clear-cut as other maps in the pool. And BetBoom opts to start on the defense.
For either one of these teams, it's time to send someone home, and they're hoping that they will be on the delivering side of it. Frontales starting off with a smoke and a flash. Mukos will have 1 more flash added to that tally. And it should be an A-sided execute coming through. Straightforward, easy peasy. But in the meanwhile, BetBoom does have 3 people down mid. So you expect to see a lot of people start to come back over through Connector. Can they beat Bossy Smokes is a big question. First peek comes out from Siren, not able to find anything. But with the dualies, he's being rushed down. Slacks just trying to provide cover. But the CT side is going to be unpenetrated. These smokes are strange, I won't lie to you. At least one of them looks like it was almost guaranteed to have been missed, but the bomb can be planted now. And it's a late flank being lined up by MagnoJazz.
Yeah, and they had no idea. Immediate kill onto Palace. Still a 3 versus 3, but there was no kit brought into this round by BetBoom. A smoke on the bomb, have to be able to find these frags inside of jungle, and if they don't do so, then the threat of that defuse becomes less and less apparent. Mirage that tries to clutch it back. He found the kills through the smoke, and he's called 3 right out from under BetBoom. They start to defuse that bomb, and he finds the instant kill through it. That's a miraculous pistol. It's 4 from Abiraju to deliver it the goods for Hesta.
I mean, it seems like that would just make you go, what do we do? We've done everything right. We've got the flank. We've got the initial kills. We've made sure we don't get swarmed down. The smokes have been reacted to appropriately. Sometimes you just lose. Magic in his hands right now, and it is Frontales who continues forward. BetBoom. Yes, on USBs, but can we remember that round on Anubis?
Yeah, we can remember, but this is not the same. And the crazy thing about that pistol clutch from Abiraju is he didn't actually fire on the first tap. Maybe they didn't know that it had been tapped. Definitely heard the second. Exile does get his hands on an SMG, which is nice. He gets a following frag, actually. Well, we got his kill with the deagle that he has as his secondary. Saxojez is low inside of mid. We'll do him a lot of favors here, and we'll get him some extra cash as well as the kill. 2-on-2. Boomich is very low HP. Kind of out for the count. Could recover a scout for Zorte in the following round, or a Galil.
Oh.
Even better.
That's actually useful. Zorte probably doesn't want to be on the scout. That said, Axel is set up for success in here if he wants to go from a few more exits when the bomb is going off. Doesn't quite wait for it, so he will have that chance taken away from him. Is Boomish looking to contest this?
No.
Surely not.
6 HP would be ill-advised.
Yeah.
Alright, 2-0 start. Tisa getting off to a solid stride. Of course, with the way that BetBoom have opted to run their economy, they cannot afford an AWP, but it's something that Hesta themselves will not be able to snap into either.
I am very surprised at how Magnijaz doesn't buy a kit. Axel doesn't appear either, prioritizes the HE instead. But maybe setting themselves up to save if need be. You look over towards how the CD are set up as well. It's early fighting, and then afterwards you'll know pretty soon whether you're winning or losing this round. Now, Mukos is taken out, so already you want to contend, but this is going to be an empty A site. Found Zorte from jungle will snipe them out even without the sniper. Axel, grenade in his hand, ready to go with the flashbang. Is waiting for the smoke to start to dissipate, but maybe he's waited too long. Abiraju is going to be finding one. Axel ends up being victim number 2. 2 though, Siren and Magnojez are able to trace out the single kill. It's all down to Abiraju one more time, but this time Siren will prevent.
Yeah, clutch too far. Nice shots from Siren and good urgency there from him and Magnojez, who had doubled up through spawn. Even if they had Axel in at those stairs, he had actually no idea just how close they were behind him. He threw that flash right next to himself and peeked top stairs while his teammate's getting shot from the front in jungle. So it's very awkward. The comms certainly cluttered, but BetBoom still managed out of the weeds. Couple of deagles in play here for Hesta and 3 AKs that surround it. It's a very light util buy. I mean, 3 smokes is more than enough to work with in the mid round. Exhausting one to blow open that or utilize the mid window smoke from spawn. But they will have fewer flashes, especially when you have Zorte on that AWP. That can sometimes matter.
Center push away move. Nice grenade as well. Don't mind if I do. Remember, there are all 5 players down over here in the middle, so you really don't want to take a peek. It's the grenades that are doing most of the damage. Abiraju taken away, and with Magno just taking information in the middle, he'll find it's more than he wanted. Axel still lies in wait inside jungle. Ants is going to be taken down by him, but the trade is Boom is elsewhere on the A site, and that leaves it completely empty. Frontales can't find the kill, but Slaxages will. And BetBoom will be forced to save as a result.
I mean, it's a pretty wild move there from Hesta to just barrel through the top connector smoke, but when you have few flashes and few smokes, you've got to make do with what you can, especially when they knew that Axel was inside of window. There was a minor gap, and it could have all gone very pear-shaped had Frontales not been able to get the kill via stairs. But by achieving that frag, it just unlocks the A site. It was a snap decision to save here from BetBoom, realizing that Hesta had bypassed the majority of the defenses, and what little resistance they did encounter
Terrorists win.
didn't prove to be too much of a trouble.
Curious to see what Zorte tries to find with his AWP over here. I would be surprised if BetBoom commit to a full buy. But maybe
Flying around it would be awkward.
there's a couple like pieces of Kevlar CZ out for Boomich as well. He's happy to go down a little bit further. Shupli comes out towards that A bomb, towards that mid site. A bomb site though is where Hesta are concentrating their forces. Gosh in middle. Is going to continue forward. Re-smoked up. Magnijaz is inside that smoke as well. Now they're bumping bodies inside, but Mukosh is the one who actually receives damage. Not much, but enough to actually get an idea of what's going on. Siren will start to push through. Now Magnijaz again realizes what exactly is happening. Siren needs to get this kill before he retreats, otherwise Boomich and company are dead mid. Zorte through the smoke will find one. Backs off and watches out for the Palace player. Slaxages pushing him away. And it's going to be another save for the two rifles.
A couple of kisses through smokes in this round. It's part of what puts Mukosh on notice inside of middle. That's why Frontales as well sort of backed off from his aggressive stairs play until the smoke had faded. Bumping bodies and not being able to move in that smoke is an early warning sign that there's probably someone else in there with you. But they go into this round with an AWP and a rifle, and they should be able to exit with exactly that as well. Nothing lost for the effort.
Terrorists win.
Now is the time when you need to do something maybe a little bit crazy. For me, you lose this round over here, and Hesta can climb up to 6, be in a very good position, and close out at least 8. And with the way the players are firing off, you do wonder what that CT side comes through from Hesta. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Axel starts to make a move down towards underpass. He'll be the danger man to keep an eye out for in this round. Unfortunately, Danger Man has had his eyes poked out. Instead, Mukosh will find him, take him down in an expected play, perhaps. Nice read from Hesta.
Ball making its way back to spawn to re-smoke mid-window. And Boomich was pushing into Palace, but that opportunity will be missed. Magnus starting to start leaning back towards that B-bomb site, especially with that forward play by Boomich, but it will come down to him and Siren to try and hold the fort.
If Zorte can find the skill onto Ants as he's crossing over, that would be big, but Zorte is not going to have that duel at all. Siren in the bomb site, who gets himself the first. Magnus has a number 2, and Siren at least doesn't have to worry about anyone coming in from short. Magnus' assistance continues to come into play, and that flank from Ants that he's been trying to go for will have plenty of time to activate. Boomich reveals position. Mukosh now knows. Now turns away, and because of it, he resets his aim. Suddenly, Ants aware of where Siren was as well. He's found a kill earlier on. What's going on? Mukosh feels pressure to try and get onto the bomb site. Despite bullets connecting with both players, BetBoom will lose neither.
Yeah, I mean, they knew where Siren was. They should have had an understanding of it, but just thought he'd repositioned in the absence of the actual pressure from the apartments. Even with the flank that Ants was able to set up. Just kind of losing track of him, and by the time they remember or figure out where Siren got himself off to, it's a little too late. Great hold on that B-bomb side. This time an opening pick from Zorte, who takes an aggressive line. The absence of a smoke inside of the mid-window will cost you on duels like that.
Hey, Zorte's happy.
Yeah, he'll take that. They've not been throwing instas continuously. Not sure that everyone on Hesta knows how to throw it.
That would be wild. Just in the sense that I can't remember the last time I've casted a game where people have any doubts about that.
Well, kind of the perfect type of team to
That's true.
Put in that pigeonhole.
Nice shot from Ambaraju, and information has been given over. Flashes down in middle as well, but the double jungle setup from BetBoom looks incredibly potent. Boomich is well in a good position to try and fight out what's coming for them. A slow creep up connector is the call from Hesta, but Boomich has already found their A-site lurker with Magnuches activating and revealed. Mukosh is fighting a dying man's battle.
Yeah, completely trapped. Axile just didn't give him the fight he was looking for. Little misstep there from Ants. I'm sorry, I'm a movement dweeb. But you cannot sort of walk into that angle and crouch to catch the ledge. You need a little bit of extra acceleration by letting go of that shift key to make it into that position. Unless I'm the noob, but it did seem as though he tried to navigate in and he missed that ledge and got caught completely.
Running through the incendiary is a bold move, but I guess you are on just Glocks if there's ever a time to do it. This would be it. Now, they do receive grenades and more incendiaries. Planting inside the incendiary is a bold derm.
It's ambitious.
So, you know, someone's pressed Control A, Control B on that entire round.
Yeah, that looked rather pedestrian. You know, you sometimes get a decent amount of mileage out of Glocks, but Hesta not messing about with that round. Didn't fancy their chances.
4-4 though, BetBoom equalize, and they are going to hope to continue forward. And I found that turning point in the one round, and then Zorte hoping for another chance like 2 rounds ago. Magnuches good for one, but watch out for Ants. He's swarming all over middle. Axile called in. Mr. Exterminator will be able to make quick work of him with the remaining 3 players over in A. Now whittled down to 2. And Cedric's plenty still ready for the CTs, and Zorte's body bang is enough to guarantee in the second as well.
Yeah, I mean, a collateral there from Zorte, the fast reactions of BetBoom. They wanted to fight for that mid control, and they were on the mid floor already. Axile swinging short. Hesta wanted to play with a little bit of extra pace. Maybe just go for a fast Palace to con split on that A-bomb site. But the first prong of the attack in Connector gets chewed out, and then waterfalling out from Palace, they get thinned even further by Boomich inside a sandwich.
Axile fully wide swings down in the middle. He just wants information right now. He knows that underpass is where they're likely to have most of their threats, but with Ants finding Magnuches, that does make things a bit more complicated. Good grenade to the body. But now you have 4 players in the middle. The boost is going to be spotted. They're just not checking for it. Double boost one hasn't been noticed by Axile though. And Zorte is backing off. He's not ready. He's asking questions and he's right to do so. And AWP will be recovered, but at least Axile will recover the kill. Second player spotted. Frontales with the perfect shot, and the bomb is really the only thing stopping Hesta from looking to be in a convincing position.
Yeah, it's still outside of those B steps, just outside of the apartments, which is far from ideal. It'll slow down their round, but, I mean, BetBoom are also flying blind, so even with this slowdown, it just, again, sows more uncertainty for BetBoom. Are they waiting for a flank? What's the holdup? We don't have any control of that A bomb site, and we know that they have had some presence there. Bomb is making its way through connector. Frontales could be in trouble.
He's gone over here unless his pathing is perfect, and with his head given up, the bomb will be on the ground. Shot miss from Abiraju. Wouldn't say I blame him too much with him not being the opera and all, but there have been a few so far. Has he managed? Okay. Worried about the op, yes, understandable, but with 8 seconds, Abiraju will be able to get the bomb plant down in, and refacing will prove difficult, if not impossible. Boomage. Looks like he might have lost the plot with the spray on the drop down, but still, BetBoom will find 6.
Yeah, they definitely were just conscious that if they peek into a very hard angle to fight with from short to con, and that he has the AWP, it's a surefire way to lose the round. So they do give up a lot of those sight lines. And you can see Abiraju was constantly in fear of someone being CT and holding a crossfire or sandwiching him in some way, and it just never was the case. But that was a round where they came in with Deagles and Tech 9s, and it still gets a little nervy there for BetBoom.
Uncle Sorta again, hoping for one of those swings, will not be given one. Zorti's taking a fair bit of grenade damage. It is exchanged with Mukos, of course, but at the same time, look at how these CDs are just trying to get a late chokehold in the middle. You can practically feel their fingers trying to wrap around it, but will the squeeze ever happen? They keep getting pushed away by smokes, by utility, by Anderson, by Mukos. Well, Mukos, brilliant shot. Axel's continually been trying to challenge in from short. Mukos finally punishes.
Yeah, Axel has been wanting that fight a lot. So, you know, it's one of the vulnerabilities of continuously going for a fight. At some point, you could lose it. Image forcing them away from the A ramp.
Siren's in a good spot for this one. They have one Molotov, they use it incorrectly. Siren gets it for free. In fact, they don't even use it at all. A chance never given over, and now Mukos hunting for a kill he will not find. Completely caught off guard by the fancy footwork. The B-side player.
Hesta are pulling the plug. They're gonna try and reroute and run up through connector, and I imagine they're gonna go through short. So they're re-execing onto this B bomb site, but they ceded a lot of control and were very noisy about the whole endeavor.
Magno's heard a player coming back up towards connector though, and that's where Sorte on the long range duel will be good for one. Close range, Magno deals with it. 10 seconds. Hans cannot win this round. It just isn't possible. He's asking for demise at this stage.
just kept wondering where they should go. You know, the initial B attack gets destroyed. Those first 2 players, the third one doesn't want to travel out by his lonesome, so starts to run away. They start to think about A. They go back to B. They go back to A. And when you're losing members every time you're making a decision, eventually you're just going to run out of teammates. Good CT campaign, though, from BetBoom, given the start that Hesta came into this map with. BetBoom have done well to stabilize and already attain an advantage moving into that second half. A very ambitious play there from Axel, flashed for himself and peeked top middle, and it just was not the play. It's because of those 2 smokes on that A bomb site. He thought he had to go in to support in some capacity, but it's all a ruse. Bomb is set up outside of B.
Sorta's trying to get an elevation, but it really does all just come down to Siren. Ants is taken away, his only fast rotator. Siren needs to show up in such a big way. His previous round was good, but now we need better. 10 and 2 so far.
It's rerouting again. The bomb is going back to the same bomb site.
It's somehow working out for BetBoom. Slacks to Jez. I mean, he's forced out a rotation from Zorte, but with Boomage finding one, they still have to push through a smoke of their own design. Time isn't
The
in
bomb's
their
in
favor.
window.
Zorte's watching for that bomb as well. I don't think BetBoom or Hesta know what's going on right now, and I can't blame them. This bomb is gone unless it drops or Zorte backs off, and the latter will transpire. Mukos, if there's ever a time to go, it is now. But he recedes. He's receded. Siren gives
Oh
out
my
the call,
God.
but Amiraju finding boomers could be the deal breaker. Somehow, this round still ends up in their favor. They will find 5 as they go to that second half with Hesta.
If I heard that you
If Chaos was a round in Counter-Strike, it would be the last one of the previous half. That being said, it's exactly that Chaos which allows Hesta to break a 6-round spree from BetBoom and find themselves at 5 in the lower bracket of the IEM Dallas European Close Qualifiers.
Yeah, and listen, if you're any team that's on the come up and you want to be unpredictable, you want to cause upsets, I mean, playing weird, wacky Counter-Strike can be sometimes the way that happens. You know, you pull the wool over their eyes. You know, you look at examples like, I don't know, I feel like Bad News Eagles were always one that caught people off guard for quite some time, and then people started to understand their playstyle as time went on. They also tried to change their playstyle to get ahead of that curve. While you're basically an unknown quantity for quite a lot of these teams, these more sporadic decisions, the lack of decisiveness in general, can sometimes work to your advantage. That last round and a half was certainly one of those instances, because they kept ping-ponging between ideas. They could not make up their minds, but neither could BetBoom, because Hesta showed no intentions basically anywhere on the map. We'll see if that's something that they can make use of in some capacity on CT side. I imagine it will be harder to do, but getting the pistol would be a good way to apply some pressure to BetBoom as this team that are expected to be able to beat past a Hesta that have been rather surprising this qualifier.
BetBoom are going to be meeting a 3-man stack out towards short. They will have heard one of those players, not more than that. Answers going all the way deep early on. The smoke's going out now for BetBoom as they hope to block off and short. It's really just Mukosh to try and prevent anything from taking place on this bomb side. Mukosh good for that first one, jumping through the smoke. Mirage Round frontales and 3 early kills. USB picked up as well. What? Mirage somehow creeps through, gets 1, gets 2, and 3 around the corner are up for grabs, but he's just not able to grasp them. Hans is the one who pushed up early on into middle, but he will still falter. 8th round found by BetBoom.
Yeah, I mean, they just did not have any idea about what the setup was there from Hesta. A very aggressive opening line there from Ants, but there were 2 players on short as well that were going to try and play that B-bomb side, I imagine, for some kind of a retake. And even still, BetBoom get 3 kills breaking into that B-bomb site. They maybe expect a moment of safety or sanctuary as they get that bomb planted, and then Slaxajez almost throws a massive spanner in the works. And almost don't cut it. Pistol taken here by BetBoom is a chance to build a bit more of a lead.
Boom managed to keep him second as well. It's all good. I'm hoping to see BetBoom just go for what we saw on T side of Nuke as well, which is bulldoze, steamroll, and rely on your abilities. Those were things that were never really called to question, even in Anubis, which they ended up losing. The classic, why respect them if they won't make it?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of teams that, you know, I always like to call that hazing when it occurs. You know, a massive underdog versus a big favorite. Yeah, you want to limit test your opposition. But now 4 rifles out here for Hesta. Mukosh, the only one that doesn't opt for, I guess, premium rifle. The SMG in the MP9 has received nerfs, but everyone's talking about how they may not be enough, but may not even be necessary. Ants just fighting off a short, finds Boomich, trying to slide out to Delpan.
Oh, wow.
A lot of damage to Mukosh. Took the dink on the jump spot. So already a weakened B-bomb site.
He's lucky Magnum didn't have the AK. That's all I'll say. 2 players are quite low on the CT side, but you still see Abiraju being very willing to start exploring forward into A main. The bomb will be recovered, but if Abiraju keeps going forward, there's definitely a chance for him to ask for the rest of his team to start rotating back towards the B-bomb site, which so far still does seem to be the likely avenue of attack from BetBoom, given Siren's rotation. Smoked off on either side. Frontales will be funneling back in towards the site, but they're worried about that peek in from Connector, rightfully so. They get the kill on the BetBoom side. Mukosh is still alive though. Molotov buying him more time than not, and Axel is in fact still looking for these 2 weakened players on the bottom side. Ants will fall to the Molotov of Zorte, and BetBoom find an advantage through utility. Time is low, but they will get the bomb plant regardless.
Oh, Zorte's heard them. He's heard Abiraju inside of the apartments. Axel doesn't come off the plant, but he is very ready to greet Abiraju. If not him, then Zorte, who holds a deep line in those apartments. And he thinks he's got the drop on them, but he made far too many steps on that flank attempt. 10th round attained by BetBoom, even though it gets a little hairy. The fact that all that damage was accrued on those 2 B-site defenders definitely earns some rightfully earned dividends for BetBoom.
Hesta still going to be pulling out a buy from their pockets. It's a very strange one. Ants is fully committing to it with the M4, and everyone else is leaving out a bit more money for themselves. But even then, Slackster and Frontales more money than not, so maybe hoping for a double up later on in the game, if that is a possibility. Missed window smoke will not be doing any favors to BetBoom, though.
Yeah, I think if I can recheck that. Ants has decided to clear through a ramp and has walked right into Siren's crosshair, keeping that idea at least in the back of his mind, and maybe even spotted the forward progression of Slackster. Well, why wouldn't you go A now? And Hesta are very much on the same page about that.
Guys, they've gotten 2 kills. I'm telling you, they're gonna go A. And they're right. Positions aren't terrible over here. If you can get one dig and just stay alive, suddenly BetBoom start to sweat. But Moko starts to back off as well. This retreat could be the difference maker. Frontales having cleared out Palace like this is what's making them second guess their initial expectations. Mukosh will be rerouting back toward jungle and really have nothing to offer. It's maybe a kill on the middle that he could hope to find, but with Zorte's hand never having cooled down, 15 and 5, he is just another victim.
The total absence, so, of any pressure on this A bomb site will leave them suspicious about both Palace and Ramp. And you can see, just based on Axal's position, he's been tasked with trying to prevent any flanking opportunities.
Well, for now, that grenade is... I think it was spotted out as well, but they just try and double peek it out, and Aberaju is left all alone. He's the one to find a single kill so far, but that is not enough to stop BetBoom from finding 11, and likely 12 with the way the money's going to look. If he saves this AK, actually they can buy in the next round.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Never mind.
Aberaju.
Buy's not terrible regardless. Aberaju is especially assisted by those 2 kills with the MP9.
It's going to be the absence of util on a couple of these players. I mean, Frontales, you know, as the AWPer on the CT side, doesn't have an HE to blow open smokes, doesn't have flashes or Molotovs to help set up for mid control. Missed his movement. He's asked for a teammate to quickly boost him into short, and so that'll be the way that he tries to activate with this AWP.
BetBoom have put a lot of pressure out towards that A-bomb site, but I am curious to what Axel is going to be up to over here on B as well. There's room for him to be able to explore out and find that there's no real anchor. It's just a player inside the ladder room, but that might not be something they discover until it's too late. 4 players in the A site from Hesta.
Will come down to the feeling here for Exile. So at one point, one of the best players at defaulting on that B side of the map, but with the absence of Boomich, suddenly they have to be really cognizant of the idea of a push through mid. They go back to try and reacquire that position, but Magno has a smoke pulled out. He has nades in his hands, and it will cost him dearly. Axile losing his fight in towards the underpass as well, and with Zorte low HP, suddenly a lot of responsibilities fall on Siren if they want a way out of this round. It's likely just a save call, though. 4 on 2, and you've got several rounds to play with.
Yeah, you just take these ones forward. Money's fine for a buy in the next round regardless, but why waste it when your loss bonus is as poor as it is? It didn't feel like the round should have fallen apart that way when Boomich died, but afterwards they never considered that Hesta could have reclaimed out towards the upper side of middle. And that just felt like the difference maker.
I wonder if that's going to be enough wiggle room. Now you don't have the shortcomings of that last buy. Every opportunity to explore to their heart's content. Set up in the map control however they want. Aggro line held by Zorte. Already anticipating a swing from short. Making some good progress though, and just as that flash comes out, he is able to turn, but it allows Ants to get the drop on him.
Great positioning from Dallas as well, being able to find the follow-up that gives them such a big advantage. BetBoom have effectively no control out towards the A bomb side, and Mukos' position is great. He will be immovable, but Magno finds a player completely off guard. Slaxages will not be taken down though. Magno's instead look for the second fight. It's so well played from him, and he even gets another one. 3, and that hat trick did seem a little bit free. Frontales, earlier position inside connector, will be regretting giving that one up to Magnajez, and right now, knife in hand, the bullet doesn't find him, doesn't actually end up being fired at all. Frontales trying to get the close, quick scope will only give Magno the quad.
What a bailout from Magno. I mean, his teammates are taking all this contact at B, and so you can understand why Hesta dropped their guard, expecting that they need to clamor for those rotates, but knife drawn when there was mid-control shown by those Ts earlier on, it's a massive mistake that Magno punishes tenfold. Fantastic timing, the chase down, and the presence of mind not to just give chase to the one man he knew about. He knew that there was help coming. Dallas, aggro peek, and they spot him making the climb up to short, but he's still able to get away with his kill. It's his teammate that they lose in the back line.
Magno is still somehow again over towards the stairs, but this time only good for the one. 1 for 1, but the T's are fully committed over here to the A side. You have to keep an eye out for Muko. She's swung in to CT one more time, and Siren's been cut off. Now, Slaxage is considering getting aggressive behind the smoke, and he's done a great job of it. Will be losing out on a chance for more, as Mukosh will steal that from him, but nicely done from Hesta to counter out the faster pace of BetBoom.
Hell's the play that Frontales wanted to do a couple of rounds ago, but this time able to get it to success with company from his teammate, of course.
I think he even managed to block the smoke on the way. Either that or BetBoom just missed it for the window.
Yeah, I mean, you'd actually have to hit it as it's jumping into the window hole if you want to block it completely, so yeah, that could be quite surprising. Deep aggressive boost as well from Frontales. A deep Molotov that should allow him to exit should he so choose, but he's sticking around, and the flash will completely catch him.
Great flashbang, but Ants is over there for the equalizer and more. It's the grenade, it's the incendiaries. They're trying to make him uncomfortable, but really, you just have to worry about Boomage. It feels like if he could have gotten some space back to jungle, and that's what Slaxages is worried about as well. Wary of the threat, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be closer to reinforcing the B-bomb site. A's been called clear. Abiraju's made that call, but at the same time, trying to go for information like this does make it so no matter what happens, BetBoom will have a 3v2 in the next 15 seconds or so.
Yeah, and the problem is the way that Abiraju is cleared towards the ramp, it actually leaves Slaxages very suspicious of a potential con walk, boost into window, especially with players spotted outside of B. If they reroute through the underpass, it leaves them very vulnerable, so it's still just Ants on B. And he has to hit the shot, and he gets the first onto Boomage, but the flash is good. He's still able to double up, gets just a glimpse of Siren before getting full blinded. Now it's Zorte in the clutch to deliver.
He's worried about short at the grenades, but he should really be concerned about incendiary as well. They don't want to let this bomb be planted comfortably. Slaxages knife out, runs through the smoke, and right now Zorte cannot decide between targets. He's just trying to isolate, but right now it is going to be death knocking on his door.
The HE did so much damage. The Malt, the incendiary is so disruptive, and even with the smoke down at the doorway, Slaxages just took that opportunity to create some chaos. Bit of forward timing didn't allow for, I guess, clean 1v1s there for Zorte. What good cover he had was being restricted further and further as time went on. So still some kick in Hesta once again. They've still got 4 more to go just to get to OT. Tech 9 by.
Have to be worried.
Siren trying to bait like there's some presence inside of Palace. Made one step just within earshot of Underbalk. He's hoping that will keep players busy here on A. Mukosh, 1 kill. Won't quite cut it. Ants has to compensate somehow.
Last time over, he was able to do so, but this time again, Spray is sloppy.
Nade.
Finds it, but the grenade will find him instead. Abiraju will be able to keep things in favor of the CT side as he continues to try and defend, but Axel's angle is perfection. A reminder of days past as he will look for more. Will spot out the head. Repeaks is understandable. Axel just putting them to bed over here. Abiraju all alone. 1 versus 2. Elbows spotted out. Siren just looking to get the jump on him. Pre-fire lined up. Head found. 13 for BetBoom. They're going to knock Hesta out of this qualifier.
Yeah, and I mean, fantastic work. Some fantastic plays being made so continuously by just a whole flurry of different players here on the side of BetBoom, whether it was Magno with some of these massive multi-kills, whether it's Boomich and